Okay, so it's me again. All right, today we're going to take a look at pathos, and this is going to refer to an emotional appeal. Now, I know we had this as a vocabulary word, and when we talked about pathos, we talked more about evoking a certain emotion, tending to relate to like sadness or something like that. But this time we're going to talk about it in relation to using it as an emotional appeal in order to make our argument a little bit more effective. So, pathos is an appeal based on emotion. So, we're basically using emotion as a way to persuade you to either agree with me, to do something particular, whatever it is I'm trying to argue. I'm hoping that using an emotional appeal will help. So, it says here pathos is used to describe the speaker's attempt to appeal to the audience's sense of identity, their self interest, and their emotions. Pathos most often refers to an attempt to engage an audience's emotions. Now, think of our emotions. We have a ton of different emotions. So, we have a list here that says people are capable of feeling, they could be love, pity, sorrow, affection, anger, fear, greed, lust, hatred, happiness, and the list just goes on. Now, basically, in using pathos, an appeal to pathos, we are hoping that if I make you feel a certain way, that you're going to be more likely to, again, agree with me, be on my side of the argument, go out and buy something, go out and do something. So if I'm feeling, like I'm looking at an ad and I want to act and feel like that girl on the picture and I want to have this carefree, kind of life. And, if having this item makes me feel that way, then getting me to feel that is going to make me want to go buy it. And that's the idea behind it. Or making me feel upset about something, hopefully will make me charge out and go vote no on that next proposition. So, playing with your emotions is basically a way to kind of persuade you to be on their side. So take a look at this example here. It says, let's say a speaker is trying to convince an audience to donate money to a hurricane relief fund. The speaker can make an emotional appeal to an audience's feelings of maybe pity or fear. So pity will be felt if the plight of the homeless hurricane victims can be made very vivid to the audience. So if I'm looking at pictures of people packed into centers where they have nowhere to go, they're in school gyms, they don't have items they need to keep warm, to eat, and I'm seeing these people and I feel really bad for them, then hopefully I'll be more likely to help them because I see these people needing my help. At the same time, fear could also be used as well when it starts to make me imagine what I would feel like if I was in their place, and that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I can't even fathom being in that position. That hopefully will make me want to help them out for fear of like, I don't know, if it happened to me, I'd want someone to help me and things like that. So it says here, if the speaker works all of these things together properly, so at the same time also giving strong ethos and logos, which we'll talk about later. So if the credibility, so we have like the Red Cross, and usually that's known to be a very credible source. They have a good reputation. And the logic, and that's what we're going to talk about later, then together along with the emotion that that's being provoked here or evoked in me, is hopefully then more likely to be more persuasive. So you're going to take a look at some examples here and kind of analyze how pathos is being used. So we have two video clips here. It is video time. We're going to take a look at one. You have some questions to go with, and then we'll have another one. So this first one here says to watch the video, and while you do that, be thinking of how pathos is used, and then afterward, I want you to answer these questions. So the first question says, what is this commercial trying to persuade you to do? In other words, what do they want you to do after you see this? What is kind of the argument? What is the claim here? Basically, it's, if you were to fill in the sentence, This guy in this video wants me to, and fill in the blank. Okay, so what are they trying to persuade you to do? The second one, what emotional appeals does this video evoke when you watch? How is this done? Now be very specific. Here's what I want you to think about. Not only how do they do it, but what are the emotions? So I want you to say, for example, I'm angry because of this situation and I feel that way because of this. Okay, so what is being used? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Think of pictures and images. Think of music. Think of what is being said. Think of who is saying it. All of that put together, everything we kind of see and hear and pick up on, are all the things that work on your emotions. So what is it that's in there that's impacting your emotions, and what are those emotions that are being evoked as well? Okay, and this should be kind of a little bit of a list there. And then finally, the third question says, how does the speaker establish himself as a trustworthy person? In other words, how does he use ethos to establish himself as a credible speaker? Because once again, if his ethos is high, if it is strong, then you're more likely not only to give in to your emotions, but also to allow yourself to do that because you feel like this is a credible, trustworthy guy. So those things work together. So answer that question as well and talk about how those kind of tie in together. And when you're done with that, there's another clip. It's kind of an older clip, but it's actually pretty interesting. So take a look at that one. You do not need to write down the answers, but be ready to discuss the same things for that. And then after that discussion, you're going to work on either in class today or for homework, and you're going to work on answering similar questions, thinking about pathos in relation to the Hounding the Innocent article. So good luck.